The biggest new thing about Titanfall 2 isn't that it's coming to PlayStation 4, which is a nice thing of course, but that it's got a single player campaign in there as well as the multiplayer. And that's kind of unusual for a sequel. Respawn are kind of going in reverse, adding a single player story to what started off as a multiplayer only game. But it's also one of the things that was really missing from the first game, and one of the main things that people wanted to see in Titanfall 2, and that's why they've come along and added this whole new story. We got taken out to Respawn's studio last week to see some of the single player in action, little bits and pieces from throughout the story, and it's actually quite interesting because it doesn't really look like it's just a standard 6-hour action-packed romp that you would expect from a first-person shooter of this ilk. Yes, there's plenty of first-person shooting, both as a very fleet-of-foot pilot, jetpacking, double jumping, wall running all over the place, and also in the heavy, weighty feeling Titan. The combat in general looks like it's more about putting you into a free-form arena and letting you tackle it how you think it's best. You can break line of sight, you can hop in and out of the Titan, use plenty of extended abilities, but there's also a lot of traversal in the game outside of the combat as well. Because the pilot can wall run, double jump, and do so much more, you are given these kind of puzzle areas to work your way through, and that's especially true once you get the arc tool in the story, which allows you to trigger bridges and machinery from a distance, and Respawn can then create these kind of first-person platforming puzzles and add those into the mix. All of this together kind of reminds me more of the form of a modern action-adventure game, something along the lines of Rise of the Tomb Raider or Uncharted 4, and that's not really a bad thing. It's quite a bit different from what we're going to expect to see in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1. In the story itself, you play as Jack Cooper, and you form a bond with the Titan called BT for short. Once BT's pilot and Jack's mentor actually dies in action. And so you're thrust together, and Respawn want to build this bond between the player as Jack and BT. So BT is your constant companion throughout, talking to you, giving you advice, exposition, responding to your dialogue options. Yeah, it's unusual, but there's dialogue options in this game. And actually, in BT's own special way, it can be quite humorous at times in a sort of unknowing, cold and calculating fashion. I wasn't really sure what to expect when Respawn announced Titanfall 2 would have a more traditional single player, but from seeing it in action and hearing the kinds of things that they're trying to do, I'm pretty optimistic that this could offer something worthwhile alongside the other giants of the FPS genre this holiday release season. That's it for this video. We only had so much B-roll with which to play, but check out our lengthier written preview over on thesixaxis.com, and keep an eye out for more Titanfall 2 stuff in the not too distant future. Before I go, you know what to do in terms of liking and subscribing, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Goodbye!